Well, you know, I literally think about the 60s back then in black and white. I had some really difficult times growing up and some very happy times. I struggled at school because schooling was very racist. I had my first racist incident as early as 4, and I remember leaving school and running home, and my dad was home, and my dad was a bus conductor and my mum was a seamstress then, and my dad opened the door and he was in his bus conductor uniform and he gave me some tomato soup and took me back to school. So really we were left to get on with it, you know, but it was also a good time with lots of memories. Oh wow, my daddy was really into music. He used to sing in a quartet when he was back home, but you know, I grew up with the sounds of Nat King Cole, Count Basie, even classical music, the 1812 Overture, which I used to love, Stevie Wonder, you know, there were just so many singers that I used to listen to. But I really got involved in reggae music when my dad brought a Bob Marley album home. So I was into Bob, Abyssinians, Israel Vibration. Yeah, so many influences in my home. Well, you know, I love telling this story because I started school in East Dulwich, which is not too far from here, and I met Karen on the first day, Karen Wheeler. We were both 11-year-olds and we became friends, and we used to sit at the back of our French class and we used to sing together, and we used to get told off for singing in the class. But eventually I took Karen home to meet my sister, Carolyn, right, aka Simi, and Carolyn then began to school Karen in harmonies. And eventually we decided, because of my sister's influence, to put a group together. And it just so happened that there was a local newspaper called the South London Press, and Carol Sims had put an article in that paper with her number, and I contacted her, and that was the beginnings of Brown Sugar. That's how we came together. In terms of the name Brown Sugar, my mother came up with the name Brown Sugar. We used to go home, we used to rehearse at home, and my mum said, why don't you call yourselves Brown Sugar? Simply because there are different types of brown sugar, Demerara, Muscovado, whatever it is, you know? And she said, in all your skin tones are like sugar. So that's where the name Brown Sugar came from. We were part of a band that was led by somebody called Leroy Green. He was here today actually taking part in the video as a drummer. And one of the band members knew the owner and director for DIP. His name is Dennis Harris. We were introduced, and that's really how it happened. And we became the first artist to grace the Lovers Rock label. Wow, you know, we felt wonderful. I think I was a mere 14-year-old when I sang I'm in Love with the Dreadlocks, so I was picked to sing the lead on that one, and also for Hello Stranger. And I was about 15 when I sang Hello Stranger. Karen Wheeler sang the lead, unmistakably. That song, Black Pride, is an iconic sound for Brown Sugar, or song for Brown Sugar. And both I'm in Love with the Dreadlocks and Black Pride were written by our producer at the time, whose name was John Kipai. But, you know, we all wrote together and collaborated, you know, as Brown Sugar. It was wonderful. I mean, being the first female reggae trio, you know, we were highly emulated. You know, people loved the excellence, the harmonies, and yeah, you know, the response was awesome, overwhelming. As I said, you know, John Kipai, he wrote two of our most iconic songs, which was I'm in Love with the Dreadlocks and Black Pride. Karen and I would write together, and we both wrote our reggae music. But, you know, we were all writers. We were green. We had no knowledge, you know. Our parents just allowed us to get on with it, you know. But I think as we got older, we became wiser. Wow, I think there are so many, but one of the biggest one was touring with Dennis Brown and receiving the Black Echoes Award for the Best Female Reggae Trio UK. And we did a big show at the Rainbow Theatre in Victoria, which was absolutely fantastic. You know, working with groups such as Aswad. We performed at the Bouncing Ball, Peckham down the road. That was a regular spot for us with 15, 16 and 17 as well. So, you know, we had some wonderful, wonderful moments. Well, you know, there's so many lovers rock singers out there that have been influenced by Brown Sugar, and that already is a legacy in itself. The lasting legacy for me would be good memories, good music, and talent. Well, you know, I became a mother, and my life changed. You know, I had a profound spiritual experience. God found me, and I took myself back into education, and I spent time working in the creative sector for a good 20 odd years. I've been freelancing, I've been lecturing, you know, I've been an arts consultant. So, you know, my career took a different turn, and I left the music for a bit. Well, yeah, Shezzie is really Ezekiel. Ezekiel. So I took it from the biblical prophet Ezekiel and stuck she on the front to feminize it, so it's Shezekiel. And Shezzie is just an abbreviated form of Shezekiel. The album Catch the Boat was produced by Wayne Brown, who is now deceased. It was a beautiful collaboration, and it happened by default, you know, by accident. We just met together, and I told him I had all these songs, but it was an opportunity to record songs that I've had locked away for a good 30 years or more. Oh, I've had so many varying responses. You know, I sound like Sarah Vaughan, eclectic. It's a mix of all sorts of things, you know, Billie Holiday, Floetry. You know, I've had some really nice responses, and I'm grateful for them all. Well, you've let the cat out the bag. Kyo Brown has produced this EP, and on the EP there are two songs that are favourites of mine from when I was really, really young. One's an Ella Fitzgerald cover, which we were filming today, and there's another song by the great Abyssinians. It's a song that I've penned, and I've collaboratively wrote a song with somebody on this. But you know, it's been wonderful working with Kai. He's absolutely amazing. I've chosen the title Lioness because I just feel like I'm happy in myself, in the woman as I am, in my Africanness, and Lioness just represents me right now. We're hoping, pending COVID, that we'll be touring and putting together some shows 2022 and beyond. www.shezzie.com, my Twitter handle, Facebook and Instagram, Shezzie, She-Z-Z-I-E.